Day 2 of the Democratic National Convention from San Francisco. Good evening, this is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting again tonight from CBS News Convention headquarters. On what are supposed to be two of the biggest litmus tests tonight of Democratic Party unity and unity behind Walter Mondale at this convention, the results on both are negative for Mondale so far. And Jesse Jackson, the main speaker tonight, has a lot to do with both. Jackson apparently is at this hour making Walter Mondale walk the plank by pushing for party platform planks the Mondale people don't want. And late today, Jackson repeated his call to the Democratic Black Caucus to vote Jackson on the first ballot tomorrow night, nomination night. Correspondent Bob Fall has the latest on Jesse Jackson's last licks before the real voting starts.
Does Jesse speak for all blacks? No. When you win 85%, you speak for a generous portion, however.
Playing that role today, Jackson was talking tough, telling his supporters they'd worked too hard and had given the party too much to settle for what he called a mouthful of cotton candy, which, said Jackson, leaves you just as hungry.
You have to go home right now. What could you show other than a ticket stub?
Jackson's final battleground, the four minority planks for affirmative action and enforcement of the Voting Rights Act against the first use of nuclear weapons and a cut in military spending. On those, Jackson wasn't budging. Vote, he told listeners, so your grandchildren will be proud of you.
Sure, we're negotiating, but until we move, don't you move if you are allies. Stand tall. Your support makes negotiations work.
Today, the emphasis changed. For the last 3 days, Jackson had been conciliatory, even apologizing if anything he'd said or done had caused offense. Today, he called again for unity, but that unity, he said, must have integrity.
There's this notion that debate means division. Debate means democracy.
But a handful of his supporters are grumbling that they will walk out if the minority planks are defeated, arguing that women got Geraldine Ferraro, that Southerners got Bert Lance, but that they've gotten virtually nothing.
If he's satisfied, we're satisfied. If he's not satisfied, he will give us direction as to what the next step ought to be.
Jackson, however, has sent a clear signal, whatever the outcome, no walkouts.
I would not advise anybody to walk out. Boycotting and walking out is the politics of despair.
So as he worked on tonight's speech, Jackson, who felt slighted because he wasn't consulted about Mrs. Ferraro or Bert Lance, and who could come away from the platform debate empty-handed,
and make change.
He wants to appeal for party unity. He also wants some tangible sign that his candidacy has produced results. Under all scenarios, he will support the ticket, but how much he gets here tonight will determine how enthusiastic that support will be. Bob Fall, CBS News, San Francisco.
Now let's go to platform correspondent Bruce Morton, who has all the latest on the platform challenges, including the fact that Gary Hart will be involved in some of the struggling over these platform planks. Bruce?
Dan, the Democrats have begun about a half an hour ago to do something they're very good at. That's fighting over their platform, a document probably none of them will remember much about 6 months from now. Still, the fights are underway. There are, as Bob Foy indicated, 4 fights projected on the Jesse Jackson 4 minority planks. We've already had the debate on one of those, a call for no first use of nuclear weapons. Now we're going ahead and debating the second one, the Jackson call for an absolute cut as opposed to just a slower rate of growth in defense spending. And while this defense spending debate is going on, the delegations are voting on that first plank, voting electronically, so that at the end of 20 minutes or so, the vote on plank 1 will be added up while debate on plank 2 is winding up. That's the way it's supposed to go, except that no speaker yet has stuck to his time limit. This debate is liable to go on some time. The fifth plank, one which would restrict the president's authority to deploy U.S. troops abroad, is a Hart plank. The unofficial word on that is that the Mondale and Hart camps have reached agreement. The Hart plank wins. Mondale will say later on perhaps that he doesn't feel all that bound by it, but he can live with it. Dan?
Thank you, Bruce. More than just a getting-to-know-you session, it was a hi, I'm here to reassure you session as Geraldine Ferraro met and talked to Southern Governor